Let's call this meeting to order, and we have the minutes of July 22nd.
I move approval of the minutes of July 22nd, the very comprehensive minutes of July 22nd.
That was quite a meeting, wasn't it?
I second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll abstain.
Yep.
One abstention. We can go on to bills for payment. We have warrant 3, the payroll, which is warrant 3P, the Conservation Commission, and Cemetery Fund. And what would you like to do?
I move we approve for payment warrant 3P, Conservation Commission Fund number 1, and Cemetery Fund number 3.
I'll second that.
Okay, discussion? Cemetery Fund, there's a $100 payment for some tree cutting work. The Conservation Commission received some mulch for the rain garden on Route 30. And in our warrants for payment, we have $100,000 that's being transferred to the school district. Then just the usual Green Mountain Power, our emergency management people are getting their quarterly stipends, and that's about it. Some highway department supplies.
And the $100,000 for the school, what?
That comes,
Property taxes, when we collect them, and then they're dispersed to the school.
So, any other discussion? Well, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. We have this portion of our show, recognition of visitors and public comments.
I'm here.
Any of the public like to have?
I'm here because of a difficult intersection of Schoolhouse Road and Miller Road.
Oh, do you want to come up and we'll, this is the time when you,
It's
do you all know?
Now, if you could introduce yourself, please.
Jonathan Flaccus.
Okay.
And do you know
Yeah.
us? All right.
It's partly an issue of visibility and lesser issue of speed. When I come out of Miller Road, if I want to turn right or left, I can't see cars coming from the left. They tend to accelerate at the bottom of the hill, and there's a hump in the road. Particularly if I'm turning left, I have to be very cautious that I don't get hit from the side by speeding cars coming up the hill. If I'm going down Schoolhouse, it's difficult to know when to turn left onto Miller Road, because again, you can't see over the hump if there's a car coming up. There's no indication at the bottom or the top of the hill on Schoolhouse Road that there is a road there, that Miller Road exists. There's a sign at the bottom that says, I forget what it says, it's not relevant to the turn. Miller Road has a little sign, but if you're coming up fast, you don't see it. There is some growth on the telephone pole at the bottom left side there off the Miller Road. And then there's some weeding that could be done, or cutting that could be done, but it's not, the main problem is the hump.
And that's in the paved road or the dirt road?
Paved road. One solution would be to have signs at the top and the bottom of Schoolhouse Road indicating that there's a right road on the right side or a road on the left side. Another solution would be to have a convex mirror straight ahead of Miller Road so that you could see what was happening on either side.
Okay, I know that Laurie spoke with Lee Chamberlain, our road foreman, and he was going to get her.
He was gonna get in touch with Green Mountain Power because the vines that have grown up right there are entangled up in the wires, and so he didn't want the road crew to do that. But he said after the power company took care of that part of it, then the highway crew could clear more.
Mhm.
When did he say that?
When did he say it?
I
think it was Friday.
Friday,
Oh, really?
Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, it was after you had come in, Jonathan.
And I guess his vacation has begun right now, so
Okay.
I think,
Not
so
for the
that's why
cars
he's
coming
not
up the
here.
hill.
So, we'll follow up with Lee and just remind him when he gets, he'll probably be
Yeah.
very
I'm surprised the
well
only
rested when he
person
gets
who's
back.
raised this issue.
And so the tree cutting or the brush cutting would take care of it, or
No.
the hump in the road is still
The
a
hump in the
problem,
road is all-
regardless
it's
of
gonna-
what cutting happens?
Right, it's gonna stay there. But the trimming would maybe lessen the issue a little.
Okay.
I think the town has a hard time maintaining mirrors, like you said. There's one over by the covered bridge, but is there any place to mount such a mirror?
There's a tree. There's a sign on a tree on Schoolhouse Road opposite the intersection for Miller Orchard, a wooden sign. And there's another sign on the left pertaining to the property owner there. It has a garage. But I think there's 2 or 3 trees, and there's one right ahead that doesn't have anything on it.
I expect we should probably talk with Lee in due course about that possibility.
Mhm. You have any thoughts?
No.
No?
I think I've never, if I come down that road, it's been an issue, but I'm probably sitting higher in the truck or something too, so.
So do you think this is not an issue for cautious drivers, but it is an issue for less attentive drivers only?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand. Say it again.
If you're a cautious driver,
If you're a cautious driver,
would you have any difficulty with the intersection?
you'd have to creep out until you could be sure that you could make a quick turn if a car appeared.
I see.
In fact, everyone should creep out. I think the sign at the bottom of the road, of Schoolhouse Road, says 30 miles an hour, as I recall. It doesn't say blind road ahead. It doesn't say slow down.
The speed limit is still 25 through there, but there
Yeah.
is a relatively new sign that says to Vermont Route 30.
Right.
Oh,
So-
right,
Yeah.
okay. Right,
Thank you.
okay, all right, we'll speak to Lee.
Thanks.
All right, okay, correspondence for information. Did you see there's a letter about the Windham County Economic Development Program? And they are making their opportunities that they're going to try to provide to help local businesses and individuals. Anything you want to do on that?
I'd like to look at it, I haven't seen it.
Okay. Where's the should be in that file. Moving on to correspondence for discussion and/or action. We received another email from Dick Burkus reconsidering whether or not to have the tapes. And I thought before getting in touch with Matt Mann to see what everyone thought about that.
I think it's a good idea to get any information we can get, so
Yeah, yeah.
if Matt's willing to do it.
And Matt is planning on it. He received, at the same time his email was sent out, Mr. Burke just called Matt and had a conversation with him. And Matt called here to see what we thought. And I suggested that they still do it because we're gonna need that information when we do the Salmon Brook
The
Bridge
right,
replacement, so.
Right. Yes, I think the more information we have, the better, because I actually am in favor of, where he wants to, I'm actually in favor of, I think the road would be better at 35 through that stretch rather than 25, so that might not be a popular position for that stretch of road, but so the more information we have, I think the better. We have a letter from Lisa. Oh, does anyone else have any thoughts on that? Okay, Lisa Blake sent a copy of a letter. She had gotten in touch with me about some issues she had on Route 30, and I explained to her that the state really controls the state highways and that she should send the letter to Vermont Agency of Transportation and asked her to copy us. So this letter is, I think, more for our information. But
Has everybody read it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I talked to Lisa today. She said she hasn't received a response from them, and she's not sure she expects a response. There haven't been any more issues,
Mm-hmm.
and she's not expecting anything from us, but just that we're informed
Mm-hmm. Right.
as to her concerns and the fact that she did act on it.
Right. So I guess she'll let us know if she hears back from them.
Okay.
There is, just a reminder, there's the rescue meeting in Brattleboro on August 13th. And that's the same evening, there's the Windham Regional Commission Emergency Management meeting up in Jamaica.
The transition meeting.
Yeah. So I was going to go to that meeting up in Jamaica, and I think Don Hubbard's planning on going.
Good.
It'd be nice if someone were to go to the rescue meeting. And
When is that?
that's the same evening, the 13th.
Of August.
Yeah. So the information on that meeting is,
Is in the correspondence for action.
okay.
I'm not available to go to that.
Okay. Okay, then, any discussion, any thoughts about that, or?
So no one's gonna go, so I need to let them know? Is that correct?
I'm not hearing anyone saying they're available to go.
Okay.
Moving on, any updates on goals? We did set a road tour date, and it's going to be
August 26th.
August 26th, starting at 5 o'clock
I think so.
here.
Yes.
So can put that on your dance card. Any other goals, updates?
Well, there also is an earlier meeting set for the personnel.
A work session.
Work session.
Yes, and that is when, the 19th? We're going to meet
At
5:30, I thought.
5:30,
5:30,
right,
That's
yes.
our next meeting.
yeah. Sort of as a work session.
And you and I are gonna have a conversation before that.
Okay. Very good. Any other more updates? moving on to new business, we have a certificate of change for the grand list. And just changing the appraisal, actually raising the appraisal of property, Vermont Transco. And the listers would like us to approve this change.
Move we change the appraisal for Vermont Transco as presented.
I'll second that.
Okay, any discussion?
I'd like to know what Transco is.
Transco is the water, I believe it's the water rights for the Connecticut River, the flowage rights.
That sounds, I thought it might be something like
Yeah.
that. Okay.
So are there any issues around this? Is there anything that we should know?
I sort of think the listers
I think
have,
it comes down from the state.
Right, yeah.
or something like this.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's
The
a bit of
listers
a
just present-
formality.
Right, the
Yes.
listers just
Correct.
approve it and present it to us for approval.
Okay,
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's not much
A
discussion.
Formality is
Right.
what it is.
okay.
So, are we ready to vote? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Who seconded that? I just-
Joe?
I don't.
Thank you.
There, sign. Okay, all right. We have a candidate who is interested in becoming a member of the planning commission.
I'll
And
move we accept
Sarah-
Sarah Berg's
Sarah Burke.
appointment to the planning commission.
I'll second that.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, with your permission, I'll send her an email this evening, letting her know she's been
Yep.
appointed. I'll copy the planning commission. All right. Do you want me to slow down, just so that this?
No,
Okay.
keep moving.
Keep the pace up.
That's why I've been kicking you.
So Vermont League of Cities and Towns, we get the municipal insurance through them. They have an employee assistance program, and VLCT person came down and gave a presentation to the town office people. And so there's a 45-minute PowerPoint presentation that will start running, unless
You're gonna watch it and then just kind of
or we could
pinpoint it
just
for us,
have
right?
Laurie just give a brief summary.
Okay, basically, VLCT provides this program to all elected officials and municipal employees. And I gave you all information in your inboxes that has the website and the password to access it. It has legal information, it deals with family issues, mental health issues, there are counseling benefits. You have access to personal and business documents. You can, deeds, living trust, wills, things like that. They stress that everything is completely confidential. Nothing goes back to your employer. Nothing goes to VLCT. It's between you and the employee assistance program. There's tons of information on the website. I've only looked at it briefly, but it's a great asset to everone.
Okay,
That's it, my 45-second
Jeez,
presentation.
I wish Zeke could do that.
all right. Any questions for Laurie about it? So you have your brochures. Is there any other business you care to bring up tonight?
Move we adjourn.
Second it.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.